Lots of stuff to share, maybe? Let's get to it. It's early morning and it's cold out there. Be careful if you're going to work. Little Shadowhawk's already there. I'm working on it. Good morning, good evening, whatever it is for you. Uh, yeah, it's way early, but I thought I would do an early stream. For one thing, to show you this, we're 2.7K on the views, and so we're down. Actually, we're in the green. Whoa, now why is that going? Okay, stupid computer, because you see that, right? You see. Give it. Oh, he's going to give me a choice here. There. Did you see that? Yeah, you should be able to see that, right? I'm going to do that and then skip back over. Yeah, yeah, you see that. Okay. 2.7K, which is circle with the check mark, but it's not green with an arrow up. So watch time hours is up to an all-time high, but views slipped down a little back into the zero check mark. I think that's how that worked. And I just noticed over here to the right, earlier, YouTube mobile app not loading videos on home tab, blank slides or empty playlist and YouTube music. That may help in identifying, things that's going wrong or whatever. Yesterday's 4 o'clock shadow episode 1307, of course, 56 views at the time of the close, and 1318 with a high of 10, which I think is bull. They always downgrade. I finally got Snow Bear up here, which I'll watch that here in just a little bit. If you haven't checked out the art of Aaron Blaze, I might even like his, hand drawn animated short film by Aaron Blaze in 4K, which took him years to do. It's less than 12 minutes long. Um, you gotta love his dedication. He's a former Disney, finally free for everybody. Support the new Snow Bear card game on Kickstarter. Okay, so that's a for okay. I don't know how that's gonna go over, but anyway, uh, it is what it is. What it is. What it is. Good morning, everyone. Go off camera so we don't hurt her. Yeah. I have to be on camera all the time. And if I'm on camera, then I'll be wanting to show the sketch cards that I did last night on topic lists. And then afterwards, sort of uh, finish up. I actually got four nearly complete on, I suppose, on topic lists, and I did another one afterwards with I think that's the way it occurred. Uh, and actually created two new characters, one called Redshift and one called Entropy. I just had that written down in my notes. Entropy, decay, and so I thought, well, why not turn that into a character? So I made a interesting looking. I had an interesting concept for that if I were going to depict entropy. So I'll show that on the 4 o'clock shadow, not today. Um, and I started another one, which was going to be like the Well of Souls, but it's like, wait a minute, I already had a card designated for that. So this needs to be another kind of well. So I had to figure out what to do with this one, you know, to salvage this card. Uh, it may be a good one to do Voodoo Master, an ode character for Bog. Uh, sort of an impromptu stream. Uh, Bert Meyer passed away at age 99. He is the brilliant mind behind some of our most treasured board games, including Mousetrap, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and Light Bright, to name only a few. Although I guess that looks like an old man. It looks more like an old lady to me. No disrespect. 1926 to 2025. So 99 years old, coming up on their birthday, I'm sure, next year. I'm not sure when they were exactly born. Toss Across is another one. I remember that. That's basically beanbag type game. Toy Story 2 there, Rock'em Sock'em version. Interesting. Yeah. I remember Mousetrap and Light Bright. Played with Light Bright a little bit. Might have even got to play Mousetrap with friends. I don't know about that one, but Rock'em Sock'em actually. Yeah, I remember that when I was quite young. Toss Across, we kind of had something akin to that. Uh, yeah, it looks more like a lady than a man to me, but okay, that's fine. Uh, but yeah, rest in peace. Absolutely. Um, for thank you for giving us all those wonderful games. Uh, quite nice. Some of my Christmas decorations, says Dr. Matro. Dr. Matro. Where did I come up with this? Dr. Mask Retro Elixir. Some of my Christmas decorations, the plate on the left took me quite a few years to find at a decent price. I love it though. Batman Alex Ross. Uh, let's see. I'm just in big in that so I can see it better. So I guess it's the superheroes around, um, unless it's flipped. Batman with the other characters around the Christmas tree. I'll show it here in just a second. And then I think the other one, the the plate on the left. Okay, on the left. So that would be the one, But then you have the Joker and Harley Quinn too. Um, hmm, what I know. All right, so let's put that up there. There we go. Dr. Mass decorations there with Batman in the middle. There's your Harley Quinn, Carrie, if you're watching, dear, or watch this on replay. I don't know. Do you watch stuff on replay, or is it all live for you? Kind of like Doc Blaylock. I only watch it live. I don't watch. anything that's the only reason I say, well, Batman's in there. Harley's leaning in to kiss him on the cheek. So, but yeah, no telling what those plates cost. They can't be too big, really. Little mini plates. Uh, Good for you, Dr. Mask, for coming across some decorations and getting into the Christmas mood. Christmas mood. Uh, TCM says, step back in time while we present a special lineup of Hanna-Barbera classics. Join animation historian Greg Esbar. So I just kind of, blew through that name. ETHR Bar. I don't even know who said that. Urbar? I don't know. For two spectacular evenings as we explore the studio's rich history and its uh, contribution to screens big and small, starting tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, that was yesterday. So, but now it is two spectacular evenings. So, probably tonight as well. Uh, So you have Yogi, hey Yogi, Yogi Bear, and the Flintstones, and uh, Charlotte's Web there from the mid '70s. And is this the Rescuers? I'm not sure, but cool. That looks more like a Don Bluth type thing. But I put Drawstream in here, and yes, I could draw something. Frosty's Winter Wonderland, narrated by Andy Griffith, first aired 49 years ago in 1976 on ABC. Yeah, out of all the narrators, I thought the Andy Griffith one was the one that I liked the least. I liked Burl Ives. I liked Gene. What was his name? Gene Autry. I want to say Gene Autry. I liked all the other ones pretty much. But and Andy Griffith was okay. I like the Rankin and Bass type stuff. Um, but Andy Griffith was the one I liked the least, animated and whatnot. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Uh, 1982 retro Christmas special. On Christmas Eve, a boy builds a snowman that comes to life and takes him to the North Pole to meet Santa. I don't know if I watched that or not. The snowman. I don't know if I caught that or not. Snowman is wordless except for Howard Blake's "Walking in the Air," which is, I guess, a song they play during that. Series finale of The Smurfs aired 36 years ago in 1989 on NBC, and everybody was relieved. Probably. Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad, starring Leslie Nelson, premiered 37 years ago in 1988. The Simple Life, starring Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, 22 years ago in 2003 on Fox. Didn't watch that. On December 2nd, 1977, Billy Crystal set a winner's circle record on ABC's The $20,000 Pyramid by helping to get a contestant to the top of the pyramid in 26 seconds. Very quickly. Yeah, $20,000. Yes. And the clues do help. December 2nd, 1845, during the first State of the Union address, President James K. Polk, considered probably one of the worst presidents, I don't know, applauded the enterprise and perseverance of the hardy pioneers of the West and proposed that the United States should aggressively expand to the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, I wonder how that worked out. I think Oregon and Washington was probably added under him. 1845 to 1849, right before the Civil War. So you can talk about expansion all you want, but there was clouds on the horizon. Matthew McConaughey made his first on-screen credit appearance during a Texas Most Wanted reenactment segment in a season 5 episode of NBC's Unsolved Mysteries. Wow. Probably nobody remembers except this guy. Disney's That Darn Cat opened in theaters 60 years ago in 1965. Wow. Don't remember that much about it, but I'm sure I've seen that. Mm. Scooby Doo gang meets Davy Jones. Wow, from the Monkees. From not 1972. That's wild. That was the season where they early on, I think it was like 68 or 69 when Scooby Doo came on the scene. Scooby Doo. Does that look like Davy Jones? I guess animated Davy Jones from the Monkees. They had like Don Knotts and all types of actors and actresses and whatnot. All right. I'll show you, yeah, at least the card that I'm working on, which is sort of a well of souls. But I already had one. I was like, I drew that much, and I was like, oh wait, I have to make this something else because I think I already have a one designated on the back. I probably should not designate it and designate them ahead of time. All right, I'll show you the first one I did, which was mud ball. How about that? Although I think I made it 2 words, mud ball, and it's supposed to be all one word, right? Isn't mud ball one word? Who knows? Who knows? Somebody will get an error card. In 1967, Hasbro released Light Bright. That was created by that gentleman for Milton. Hasbro, I guess. Um, just passed away at age 99, as I said earlier. On December 1st, 1982, Ziggy's Gift first aired on ABC. I don't know if I saw that or not. 1957, Kit Kat bars were first introduced in the United States. But you know what? It was probably till the 80s maybe 70s before I saw a Kit Kat bar. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar is when I kind of noticed Kit Kat, and it kind of around. But Kit Kat bars have been around since 1957. Isn't that wild? That's wild. Frosty Returns, starring Jonathan Winters as the narrator and John Goodman as the voice of Frosty the Snowman, aired for the first time 33 years ago on CBS. Frosty Returns. Sounds like a blow off letter, doesn't it, from your ex? Many Frosty Returns. John Goodman doing Frosty's voice. Wow. Jonathan Winters as the narrator. Wow. The freaking looking Jonathan Winters just saying, "Hey, Bone, are you at work? Or are you like going to work or, listening at work?" Just dropping a like. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I do my best to entertain Mr. Low Energy here, which I will totally give uh, Omer credit for calling me Mr. Low Energy. I'll accept that. Sure. I'm about to get on the road, 1 hour drive. Oh wow. So did you have to shovel snow? Probably not where you're at, right? December 1st, 1955, 55th. What the hell? Uh, Rosa Parks was arrested in Montgomery, Alabama after surrendering, really? Okay, it is early. Surrender her bus seat to a white passenger, sparking the Montgomery bus boycott. The protest continued until December 1956 when Alabama's bus segregation laws were ruled unconstitutional. Negro leaders arrested in an Alabama bus boycott. You know, turning point in the, you know, Doctor Who did that was one of the Jodie Whittaker where they actually went back to Selma and all that. I was like, what do we have to get into all that in Doctor Who? Really? Can we say Negro anymore? I can say it. I'm going to say it. You know, no disrespect whatsoever. Uh, I remember when that was the term used on TV by black actresses and actors. Uh, Charlene Tilton, I remember her on Dallas, turned 67 on December 1st. Isn't that a trip? I only remember her on Dallas vaguely. Uh, young actress that was on Dallas, but she's 67. Wow. She's like 7 years older than I am. That's kind of surprising considering how how young she looked at the time. I have a character, Willow the Wisp or Wisp, something like that. That I was going to draw, perhaps. The Brothers released their eighth studio album, Minute by Minute by Minute by Minute. I'll be hanging on. 47 years ago in 1978. Uh, December 1st, 1885 was the first Dr. Pepper was served at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore in Waco, Texas. So Waco, Texas, Branch Davidian compound and all that. Dr. Pepper history. How about that? Look at that logo. You got 10 and 2 and 4 like a clock. That's an unusual uh, you know, thing to put on a bottle, actually. Whatever time it is, have a Dr. Pepper, I guess. I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? That was not even in the minds of people back then. Not even, not to the 70s. But in Waco, Texas, there's your trivia pursuit. Where was the first Dr. Pepper served? Waco, Texas, of all places. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation opened in theaters 36 years ago in 1989 and still remains one of the best classics ever, in my opinion. Absolutely, positively. Uh, 1977, Bing Crosby final Christmas special, Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy, was performed by Crosby and David Bowie together. I played my drum for. I probably watched that on TV. I'm pretty sure I did. Pink Floyd released their 11th studio album, The Wall, 46 years ago in 1979. Don't know if I bought that then or maybe later, maybe in the 80s, probably when it was first released. Dr. Mast was talking about you earlier. It's the Stream Machine. Yeah, I got to get those views up. Uh, About to get on the road, 1 hour drive. Yeah. Um, Thanks for dropping in, leaving a like, Dr. Bone. Raggedy Ann and Andy in the Great Santa Claus Caper, uh, 1978 on CBS. Uh, that's one you don't get talked about very often. Got to get those views up, Dr. Mask. Popular rag dolls come to life. Raggedy Ann. I had a Raggedy Andy. I've still got two Raggedy Andy books from my childhood, which is amazing. I'm not sure the years on those. I'd have to go in there and look. One has the cover, and one doesn't even have a cover on it anymore. She's the stringy hair and droopy pinafore. First appeared in 1918. Raggedy Ann. Raggedy Ann and Andy. Hell yeah. In stores, written and illustrated by Johnny, whoever. Her brother, Raggedy Andy, a loose limbed lookalike, came along 2 years later. So there you go. Raggedy Ann was created in 1918, and her brother 2 years later. Uh, Tonight, the siblings make their TV debut in a cartoon. It only took them uh, quite a few years, quite a few decades to make it to TV, apparently. Um, Cartoon that introduced yet another Raggedy, a floppity dog named Arthur. So keep the threesome busy. A villain, Alexander Graham Wolf, a villain determined to sabotage Christmas with his gloop stick machine, a gadget that seals toys in unbreakable boxes. To outwit the big bad wolf, the Raggedy's go to the North Pole where they battle the machine in Santa's workshop. Hmm. I probably watched that when it came out. Pretty sure there's the baddie right there, the wolf. Kind of a knockoff of from Roadrunner, isn't it? Y.E. Coyote Super Genius, if you ask me. Raggedy, yeah. Uh, hey, Mrs. G. I was Raggedy Andy for Halloween in 1980. How do you remember that? It's the Stream Machine, yes. Yes, it's the Stream Machine. I've had a little bit of rest, working on sketch cards. All right. For you early crowd, I can't keep a secret. I'll re-show these on the 4 o'clock shadow too. For uh, so I did this Mudball, which is an old character. I kind of gave him a different thing. I actually kind of did a swamp thing like nose. Uh, See what it would look like. I don't know. Character of mine that goes back with Bog, and I can't forget this one, King something. King Foliage, I think is his name. I don't know if I'm going to keep that name, so I didn't put the name on there. It's a magenta background, sort of like a hot pink, but it comes out purple on my, you know, thing. And then at the last minute, this was supposed to be like the zigzag speedster, doppelganger, and he was supposed to be like all black, but all black is like hard to depict on a character. You have to have the highlights and everything right on that. And I thought, I got an idea. How about, originally Zigzag was going to be red, and I opted to make him um white instead, like he was light. Um so I thought, I could make his doppelganger red and call him Red Shift. So there's Red Shift. First drawing of Red Shift right there. Still has a lot to go back. And one going back in Bog's history, Spore. Spore. Bog's got a pretty good rogues gallery actually, and this is a new character I did after the after topic lists while listening to another show and kind of being on, not really on and on the show, but in the background of Tokamai's show, uh, Anthropy, where it's all kind of like falling apart and whatnot. Anthropy, almost like Sandman collapsing in on itself, you know. But he touches stuff and it disintegrates, you know, it ages or whatever, because that's what Anthropy is. Anthropomorphic. I don't know. Anthropy. Been doing monsters of late. I did my zombie like character, you know, the other day, last day of November in Minefield. These are all eyes covering the eyeballs, but they're all cataract eyes. They're all blind. You know, don't ask me why. It just makes it creeper. And then you know you got Slaver there with this first time coloring him. I don't really have a maroon. I need to find and see if they make a maroon, you know. And I figure this is bog. Again, this is magenta background. I kind of like that hot with the green, but it comes out purple on my camera because I'm running Windows 7. And it often tells me your colors may be incorrect. You know, this character goes back. Don't even have a name for him. Strata, he's a new character, and need to draw him more, maybe with less variant in the colors. You know, I like rock characters, always have since the thing. The witnesses, that goes back, or I called them the Watchers first, and Quagmire. All these are like bog, like villains, you know, swamp related, kind of like. Uh, and I named him Shriek. Why not? He looks like a welling banshee, sort of, you know. I finally did Blitzkrieg. I like the blood motif for the background because she's one of the 43. Did I put that on there? Yes, I did. The Dark King, which goes back to 2014. I wasn't calling him the Dark King, though. It's King something. King something. Time to get Linux. I'm looking at that after the first of the year. Um, yeah, I'm not sure about that. You know, for me, I mean, maybe that's the best thing. I don't know. I'll get with Omer and we'll talk about it. You know, I'll see if he's available to get with today. I haven't had a meeting with him for a while. Swamp zombies, of course, are controlled by the Voodoo Master. I have not done one of those yet. Uh, and a new hallucinogenia, keeping that black and white and grayscale almost like she's antimatter, you know. And then Joanne Marco, which this character is going to change the next Devil Flyer story. She'll have to make her first appearance. So I've already got a character that can make her first appearance. I, you know, want a first appearance of something every issue I do. There's going to be a first appearance of something. It may be the Baxter building, it may be the Pogo playing, but it'll be a first appearance of something or a new costume reveal. But, you know, but look, I've got enough characters. You'll probably get new characters, some new character in some story, you know. And it's Light Vibe. I can't connect you to a Twitch big streamer who streams to thousands of viewers with nearly, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I do see that. I like that. It's Swamp Zombie. Yeah, and I wish I had, you know, that goes back to the scratch art days. Um, like this. This is like it's got Mudball here, the character I'm calling Totem, King Foliage. It's got Spore. Because I was looking at this, it's got Quagmire. It's got the Scarecrow, I guess. I can't remember what I was calling him. It's got this fly-like dude, and I can't even remember the guy with the breather and whatnot, and then Bog down below. Uh, but it's got good guys and bad guys on it. It's kind of like and Zob there. It's kind of World of Bog, you know, type thing uh, that I did. I did some other highlights on Thorn too. I thought I could make that better if I get the jelly roll. I probably just didn't have the jelly rolls, and I also put a little more yellow in his teeth and darkened in there and highlight like his power here in white and just the around in the eyes and on the skin a little bit. Not big differences, you know, to it, but enough to highlight and make it look better. I think, you know, little highlights on the arms, the tendrils and stuff. Not much, but it made it look a little richer and better, you know. And put it. It wasn't just highlights. I put like highlights of a little bit more color here and darkened in the mouth a little bit, which I kind of did with blue, and the teeth were blue, and I didn't like that. That's what got me started on it. But Thorn's got a really neat story. He's one of the 43 that was horribly deformed, but now it took a while for him to get this way. He just doesn't. He actually comes out perfect. I'm giving it too much away. Here's a piece I did on cardboard. When did I do this one? This is probably during the campaign, to tell you the truth. Have I got a backing board there? Is this? I think I do. Yeah, very thick backing board. It seems like probably because it's cardboard, right? I did this November 28th, so it's been over a year now of last year of Bog, and this other gave me my eyes there. This will be in the art book. I need to work on the campaign and put some, you know, stuff down uh, on there. But I'll get together with Omer today, hopefully, and we'll do something. Um, I had to run, Mrs. G says. Look, lots to get done today, unfortunately, but I wanted to make sure I stopped by and to say, good morning. Have a great day, Rex and chat. You too. Um, you know, you're one of the reasons I show up in the morning sometime uh, to say hi and wish you a good day. So appreciate you coming by. And Thorn is very cool, bro. Too. Yeah, you will like him. You know, it's like, well, what if he, you know, creating the characters, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay. So he does this, and then he comes here, and then he goes here. I've already got 3 stories or one long story, and I'm like, I could tell it his story in like 3 different times, you know. And I don't want to give it away. I do want to give it away, but I don't want to give it away really because I want you to be surprised when you read it, you know. And yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, this could be multiple stories. You know, this could be a Gable Penny shot in the house. Morning, all. Hello to you, Gable. It's good to see you. You just missed Mrs. G. In case you are wondering, Dr. Grace from the mini ghost of Dr. Grace from Charlton Comics, right? I am aware, sir. I have a few of those. Isn't public domain until 2077. Don't ask me how I ended up with that rabbit hole. Wow, that is a long time. I probably will be gone by then because I will be 111 by then. I'll probably be like Matisse and directing the artist. We got to get this public domain character out. I guess I could work for something before my death, right? With that character. Wow. How'd you ever find out that that was going to be public domain then? Um, but yeah, eventually I want to bring all that stuff into, I mean, so I've been working on Boggs Rogues Gallery because I've worked on with him a bunch. That's how the zombie like guy. Don't even have a name for him. And on the card, I gave him 2 hands. That's where a lot of these characters came from. Was sort of forming the world of Bog. Uh, like I say, he's my most developed character. Uh, but I've taken some of those characters and made them the 43. And we got a new backer, back the digital tier. So now we are up to, let me bring this up so you can see what I'm seeing. We are up to 76 backers, $4,316. Woohoo! 216% funded. So we're moving on up. Beans don't burn on the grill. That's very cool because we just got Peter Orchard backing a physical book, and now we've got a digital tier book, and we're, I think, $184 away from the Bog 6 a.m. sticker and 4 more pages added. I don't know that I'm going to add, I may add, consider those 4 story pages added to the art book, and also would be included in everybody's digital, because everybody's getting digital. Good morning, Doc Blaylock. How are you? Good to see you. I will drop you the link in the chat if you want to jump on. I was researching characters with grave in their name. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. Not till 2077. Wow. Well, he didn't come out to the 60s, so that kind of tracks, I guess. At least I don't think he came out to the 60s. And, ran in the 70s. I know. I got to whip some of these out, man. Get some of these characters that are designated done. Human Grenade, he goes back a ways. This character goes back to 2000, which is going to be, I think I've designated him one of the 43 now. He's kind of like one of the characters I rolled in. Did I? Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have to make him one of the 43. He could just, I may be running out of spots for the 43. That's something I had to look at, Cortex is another one I need to do. That brain is something to draw every time, though. So it's not that easy to draw the brain and the different folds and stuff like that. Saboteur Comics in the house. Good morning. Early start. Yeah, good. Well, late. Yeah, early start, I guess, late, whatever, I slept in the recliner, and I got a haircut yesterday, so that helps my hair not be all, wild. Since I bought and invested so much into the watercolor paper, but did I really? I got a great deal on that watercolor paper. Welcome to the show, Doc Blaylock. Good morning, sir. He has copy in hand.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. You're up early.
Listen, what are you talking about? I get up at 4 o'clock every morning.
Crazy. I stay up till at least till daybreak and then go to bed.
But listen, I'm contractually obligated, Rex.
For
real. That all my appearances henceforth, because I'm now famous, you kind of got to pay a stipend to have me on your show.
Well, thank you for joining us anyway.
But all kidding aside, my contract does say that Gable Penny Shot has to be on whenever I'm on.
Well, I'm just waiting on him to jump on that link, Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, Doc, I scored not too long ago 24 pads. So I bought all that they had, not all at one time. It actually took me 3 trips. Only bought one the first time. Then I went back for a few more. And then I said, oh, man, that's such a great deal. I got to get it. It's like 140-pound test paper, I think, for $3, 24 sheets, 8 by 10. That's a pretty good deal. Comes out of India.
It's useless.
Useless? Okay.
It's too small for comic books and it's too big for trading cards.
Cut them up. Trading cards? Really? I mean, oh, come on. I'm sure it can be used for something.
So, how are you this morning, Rex? How are you?
Gable's working.
Yep.
Um,
And
I'm doing
hell,
fine. I'm Mr. High Energy. At 60 years old, I've got more energy than I did in my 40s, and I'm a much slimmer man by probably 20 pounds or more. You know, and
everything
that's
that you just said,
mhm.
I'm the opposite of that.
Okay, Mr. Low Energy, old and shriveled.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah, not shriveled. I wish I would shrivel some.
He's not shriveled. No, I've seen him in person once, and that was enough to scare me. Yeah, he was like, I'm a retired Navyman. Although, since you were around so many Marines, my mind goes to Marines first before Navy with you because
All
you
right, just
look like
remember,
you could have
you
been a
can remember
Marine. Yeah.
remember it like this: Marines are
Mhm.
called devil dogs, right? You know that. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was a question. Okay. Got
Yes.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Devil
right.
dogs. Right.
So the devil dogs call us their corpsmen devil docs.
Ah, okay.
So there you go. That
And where do
boring
the
line.
Seabees come in?
Well, they're a whole different thing.
Okay.
They're their own thing, and they are
Do
some
the
crazy people too. By the way.
do they still exist?
Oh
Or
yeah.
was that
Oh yeah.
do they? Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
They'll
that's
never
part of
go
the
away.
Navy, right?
Hmm.
Kind of like your what is it? The elite frogmen, whatever, or
The elite
what's
frogmen are seals.
yeah, Navy SEALs. There we go. I just couldn't think.
No, CBs are not seals.
Yeah, I knew that. I did know that. Yeah.
It's weird though. The CBs build shit, and the seals came from UDT, and the D in UDT stands for demolition. So you have the people that blow shit up and the people that build things. It
Hmm.
seems like they wouldn't get along.
Well, at least they're not Army, Navy, Air Force, or I mean Marines rather. I threw Navy in there, but that's usually how I say it. So
Huh? What?
uh at least they're
What?
not the other branches. That's what I meant to say. You know, at least they're all in the same branch.
Yeah, Army confuses me. I don't understand their table of organization. I don't understand their rank structure. I don't understand much about the Army. I like those guys. I've trained with them. I served with a few of them. My
Hmm.
co-host Tanner is an Army vet, but they are incomprehensible to me. They'll say, "Yeah, I served in the fourth or the fifth of the in the battalion." I'm like, "The what?
Hmm.
What does that even mean?"
Yeah. Well, you just got to be one of them to know. I guess
I
if
guess
you've been to a if you've
they
been
know
to
what
a
I'm looking for.
cemetery like I have, you've probably seen where people have served like in three branches.
Oh yeah,
Army, Navy, and Marines or something.
yeah.
I'm amazed by that
I've
you
seen a
could.
lot of dual service guys. I've seen
Hmm.
one of the best Marines I ever knew. He started as a Marine, he got out, and then in Vietnam he went back in the Army, and he couldn't stand it. So as soon as his enlistment was up, he got out and went back to the Marine Corps, and stayed there.
Yeah, yeah.
He
I've seen
said,
dual too, but now I've seen a
he said,
couple of.
and I
Yeah.
quote, he said, "Going to the Army after the Marine Corps was like leaving a beautiful wife for an ugly girlfriend. It just didn't make sense."
Hmm. And you got to go through boot camp and claw your way up the ranks. Yeah, it's like you probably would have
No,
been better off just staying.
no. If
No?
you move to a different branch, if you're qualified to do so,
Oh, okay.
you will usually lose one pay grade, but then be in line to get it back soon.
Yeah. So they don't
At least that's the way it used to be. I don't know what it
dog
is
shit
now.
you. Yeah.
Rex,
Well.
did you get snow?
No, I think we're due to get snow Friday,
Okay,
was
all
the
right.
last I heard.
I was watching that kind of big snowstorm outbreak from a few days ago.
Hmm.
And they were showing parts of Arkansas getting some of it, but I couldn't remember where you were located.
Well, I mean, I around the trunk of one of my trees where it's been shaded, it's still white.
Okay,
The rain
so you did get
probably
snow.
frosted over. Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
All right.
not, I don't know. It's, yeah, I guess you could say I never saw it. I thought it was like maybe freezing rain, something
Well, that's
mist.
'cause you never go outside except to walk Abby. Come on now.
That's true. And I never walk Abby. It's like put her on the leash and let her go. And it's been so cold. It's like I don't even put a leash on her. It's like go, you
Yeah,
know, and then come back in, you know.
but
Today,
you saw Shadowhawk's pictures of his snow, right?
no. It was on Instagram, I guess.
Facebook, Facebook.
Oh, was it Facebook? Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't see that. But yeah, he gets
yeah.
big piles and
He
dumps
got
and
a good little bit. That's what I'm saying. How about you, Chad? Anybody get some of
oh
that
yeah, the
snow?
other day he was saying, "Man, we've got it just piling and coming down." You know, during the holiday, I guess when he was
Yeah.
off, but um, he was talking about his neighbor had one of those tiller like blowers, blow it off to one
Mhm.
side, and they'll do the sidewalk all the way down the block, which is pretty cool.
My riding mower will do that. Just put the blades all the way down, get on the driveway, drop them as low as they'll go. It'll do a pretty good job of blowing that stuff off.
Well,
But we only get about that much. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm a pro though. You know, I hold a box of salt in one hand and spray it over my shoulder as I'm
I
going.
was not even in school when we got. It might have been around 69, 70. It was. I think it was. I mean, I was a little tyke, and ooh, we got more snow and stuff. And I went out and I ran out in the snow, and before I knew it, it was over my head. Because I hit a drift, and it was like 6 foot over 6 foot, and I'm a little bitty tyke. It was over my head. I had to back up just not to be buried with snow, and it was one of those weeks where okay, you get a foot, you get another 2 feet, another day, and you get it compounds. It just snowed all week and quite a bit. It never stopped. It just kept on
Right.
coming. That's the most it's ever snowed here since I've lived here all my life.
I had
It's
something
only
similar.
once that we get a massive dump, and that was over a week.
Like
Just
in
continuous.
'81, we had 5 inches of sleet, not snow,
Yeah,
that froze over. So it's a solid sheet of ice over the whole city. five
yeah,
inches. Say nothing could move. Nothing. Well, now when it fell the next morning, I looked out. Whoo! It snowed. So I go hauling ass out the front door to go play in the snow, and my dog goes with me. We both slip and bust our asses and slide all the way out into the road. Fortunately, there's never going to be a car coming in that mess.
yeah.
But I'm young, I'm thinking, damn, man, snow's hard. No, it's ice. It's ice.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that with my mower though, with around here with the road graders after they piled it up on the side, come down the street or whatever, because there might be like something your blades could hit and throw,
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
but we don't have that here. We don't have that problem.
Yeah. I've what I like about my house is the road is extra wide, which is really cool because I can have like yard sales and people park on the side of the road and there's still room for people to pass. It's not such a clog. And the reason that is Indian Trails here has a line of trees in the middle of the street as a
Mm-hmm.
medium, but it ends. I don't have to mess with that cleanup or any of that. It ends like where my house begins almost right before, but the road is still wide and it's narrowing,
Mm-hmm.
and when you go out, it's getting narrow again on the downslide, and so I had an extra wide street in front of my house. I like that. Plus a light because lights are placed strategically here, there, whatever. So I've got more security. I've got it better lit up in front of my house too. I thought moving in, that's a plus. That's a plus. That's a plus. When I was looking at the house, plus no neighbors in the backyard. That's a plus. I only
Yeah,
got two
I
neighbors
I
flanking
got
me.
backyard neighbors. I'm in the bottom of the valley, and there's a circular road, and that's what I live on. You were here.
Yeah, I didn't see behind your house, but I know exactly where you're at.
but my backyard neighbors are up on the hill because it immediately. I live in the very
Mm-hmm.
bottom of that little bowl, so immediately, everything
Yeah.
is going up all around.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good thing I didn't have like a paper map. And even then, when I got on the street, you're like, keep on coming. Keep on
Oh
coming.
yeah, I
You know?
saw I saw you at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Rex, I'm
But your
standing in the
front
yard. Wait,
yard's got a lot of bushes and stuff. It's like
I'm standing
you're obscured
outside going.
kind
I'm
of.
waving at you, Rex. Just come on down.
Yeah. 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 It was wild how your dog reacted to me because I get along with most dogs. I think just excited, you know.
She didn't bark at you
No, she didn't. But she was trying to get at me though, and you were holding her by the collar
to play. To
to
play.
play, right? Yeah, and
She
big
loved
dogs. So yeah, it'd
everybody.
take you down and roll you on the carpet, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and probably smelled Abby on me too. To be
She's
fair,
she's almost oblivious about other animals in a
mm,
weird kind of way. Like she will hear a cat outside and she will go to the window and she's looking around for it, and that tail will go "Rrrt, rrrt, rrrt." But then if she's outside and she looks right at a cat, it's like it's not even there. She's like, "Hey, what's up?" And she just, I don't know. I don't know.
Peter
So,
Orchard Comics thought he had backed my book and didn't, so he backed it about 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And yesterday I got a new backer buying a digital tier. So, woohoo, couple new backers, got some movement on the campaign.
I
Up to
think you.
76 backers right now,
Yeah, I was
which
gonna
is
say. I think
about
you're.
where you were with your
Yeah,
book.
I think I've got 79 backers, but about half your money. Um,
Yeah.
on the Fund My Comics. So
But you got your book out. And
yeah,
yes, you can buy Doc Blaylock's book still, I believe. It's
and you
still
can
available.
get a damn dirty thing, the novella, wherever books are sold. Hey, Dr. Mask, have a great day, buddy.
See you, Dr. Mask. We got to have you on again soon, you know, talk about your book and your campaign, give you some
Prob-
boost.
Probably not doing my show today, Rex. Christy and
I'm
I didn't.
usually sleeping during your show, to be fair.
Christy
Um,
and I didn't get together to do show prep.
mhm.
Darren called out on me sick. Tanner is still down with his back, so I'm like, meh. It's the holidays. Psh, don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Um, I'm just doing this because I kind of like to reach those times when I'm usually not streaming, and I'm like, yeah, I'm well rested enough to do a
And tell
short
the
stream.
truth, you were bored. You were bored, and you thought,
Um, I
I'll go.
mean,
I'll go live.
Abby woke me up. I was sleeping in the recliner, and she got up there with me, or I pulled her up with me, you know, and she was restful. But I thought, I need to get up, and yeah, I mean, she's laying there, and I can't really do anything, so I let her stay in my lap for a while, and then I said, you want to go out? I sent her out to do her business, which she did, and we came in, and it's like, yeah, I'm up, might as well do something and be productive. I did 5 sketch cards last night, and starting on a 6th here, and thought, well, I'll stream. I did notice, Doc, that my views are still in green territory. That's not it. There we go. 2.7K there. It's if you got a circle and a check mark, yeah, it's up, but I think it's green and an arrow. I don't know. It's either I think that's all new territory. So my watch time hours may be in the all new territory, but my views are a little down. It's still in the green, but it's not as high as it used to be. Either that or it's hit an all time high, and I've got it different. The watch time
Okay,
hours are up, but not all time high. I don't know
but
exactly what they use for what, to tell
but
you
why
the
does
truth.
it matter?
I'm just trying to maintain. And you know what? I'm paying for StreamYard, so I might as well use it, right?
Oh, you're paying for Streamyard?
Well, I mean, it's getting ready to expire, and
Mm.
I'll use my free hours, uh,
Yeah,
and
when they
then we'll
when they
go with
did that
something else,
sudden bait
probably.
and switch, when they yoinked the free version and neutered it, I'm like, no, you'll never get a dime out of me because you bait and switched our asses. So
What do you mean they pulled the free version?
the free version, you could have 6 guests, you could have up to 12 videos and X amount of overlays and whatever. They took all that away, all of it.
Well, I think you can still have 6 guests. They give you 20 free hours, right?
Correct,
Which
but you
for
can't
me is
you can't
nothing.
have
I could,
you
you know.
can't have your trailers, you can't have your overlays.
Yeah, I know. You yeah,
So
it's yeah. And they doubled the price, I mean, a year or so ago,
yeah,
they without I mean, they kept coming out for about 6, 8 months. They kept coming out with, "Ooh, we've improved this, that." Yeah, but we're paying for it down the line, and we did. They doubled the price without telling anybody, so they
yeah,
lost a lot of business.
that
That
gets a hard no from me when you
I
do something
agree.
like
I
that.
agree.
And I think for a while, I don't know if they're still doing it, but it says, our free plan, you get this, 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 and this, and they're still listing the things you used to get, but they're not there anymore. So that's a lie.
Yeah. 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 I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit. Right now I'm sitting at 556 subscribers. So, we're doing well with that. Just trying to expand
Well, I
my
mean,
reach
if that's
a
your
little
goal,
bit.
that's a good thing. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, we
Well,
celebrated, as you know, at the end of November, 1300, because you were on there with us, and
mhm.
uh, onward and upward,
Boy, these
I
bags
can't
on
think of
my
anybody else that's doing a daily show. Can you?
I,
Who's-
no,
Yeah.
I can't even manage weekly apparently.
Yeah.
But
And
again, I stream and I do the show to share a few laughs and a cup of coffee with the folks that care to show up and have a little fun.
yeah.
It's not a career goal. This morning,
Mhm.
I got up early as usual, and I've already written well over 1,000 words. And then I got to thinking about something, and I went over. This is a long train of thought, but I'll skip all that to say I had stopped writing Blood on the Bricks to start writing Justice or something like it because that one came to me almost as a complete story. So I thought I better get this out. Blood on the Bricks is almost done. All I can do is write the last scene and edit it a little bit. So I was looking, and Blood on the Bricks is novel length, not novella. It's at like 45,000 words. I didn't realize
Mhm.
I had written that much in that
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. And the one I'm working on right now, Justice or something like it, is not even halfway done, and it's already at almost 20,000 words. So the stories are getting longer. Is what I'm saying to you.
Well, yeah, that's good. I mean, but now your contract is like, sort of novella, right? But now if you did a novel, that would be okay too, right?
Yeah, yeah. They'll
With them.
they've already agreed in principle that they'll publish anything I send them in this IP. So that's cool. But we're gonna have a sit down with Anthony and Jim, my two different publishers, to develop how do we operate going forward with Anthony publishing. Anthony wants to not just do the comic books; he would like to do a limited press run of the novellas that come out with each comic book before they launch on Edgeweaver. And I don't think Edgeweaver will have a problem with that as long as it's a limited run, like 100 copies, and it's crowdfunded and done. They won't
Yeah.
have a problem with it. So
And maybe with new art, a different cover art, right?
probably, probably,
Mhm.
like they've agreed they'll contract with John Dillard for the covers for my book, and I think for some of their other books they want to hire him for that. Um, but I will probably do the covers for the Dark Gift
But
versions.
have you heard from him? I haven't
Yeah,
heard from him.
yeah, oh yeah,
Well,
he's back.
somebody said talk to Doc. I think it was Omer. Is like, that doesn't Doc isn't Doc in contact with? See, I can't. He can't. I can't talk to him on X
because of
right now, my
Twitter. Yeah.
message. But the last time he tried to contact me was, I think, September 26th. He says, I need to talk to you. And that was after, I don't know, maybe a month or two after I paid him for a 2-page spread. And
I'll
I'm
let
going
him
to
know.
need that for the book. So at
Yeah,
some
I'll let
point.
him know. I'll let him know. He got really ill for a while.
Oh, did
Not
he?
my story to tell, but he's better now, and he's working, but he's not streaming because not up to it right now.
I thought he was uh, maybe into real estate a little bit,
No,
supplementing. No, that wasn't it. Okay.
no.
Yeah, I just this is the longest I've been out of communication. Usually, I'm used to be able to get a, and now I can't. Now that my system won't support or something
Well,
they've changed it
Rex,
for me to
Rex,
chat.
Rex, Rex,
Yeah.
you're on Facebook, and so is John.
Okay.
You can reach him through there.
Reaching through there. Okay. Well, I'll
Mhm.
try and reach out, not to him on that and talk about what we're going to do going forward. I knew he hadn't just disappeared. I just didn't know how to get in contact with him.
Yeah,
But I
yeah. I mean, with your ex acting like it is, which is bizarre, totally understandable. But I think if you use Messenger on Facebook, you can reach him. And
well, I had sent him a.
you don't even have to go looking for him on Facebook. If you go to
Okay.
my account and look at my friends list, he's in there.
Well, okay. Yeah, I had sent him a long-standing message, and I just never heard from him. I guess that was the time he was sick during that time, and
Yeah.
I he never got back with me. And then my message just went to chat, and I'm like, "What is this?" Put in
Yeah.
the four. I did put in the pass. Did you put in your press? Yes, Rex put that in the very first day. He's not a dumbass, but totally.
Well, I
But
mean,
well, yeah.
no, Rex, you are probably the
Okay.
only person I know who
Yeah.
has technology hates more than they hate me because technology hates my guts. It
Yeah.
hates you even more.
Yeah. Well, it's, it would probably be scary to, I, I want to say 2016. That might be my computer age. I'm not sure on that. Uh,
I aged out with AOL and Windows 95.
yeah, dial up and that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure
I
how
do
old.
the best I can with what I got. I use Grammarly. You know what Grammarly is, Rex?
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a Linux. And good thing
No,
Linuxes are built to last, from what I
no,
understand.
You know what Grammarly is?
Grammarly? No, not really.
It's a
I'm a
software.
Grambling man.
It's a software that will do grammar, spelling, and punctuation checks on
Oh
your
yeah,
text and writing.
I need
So
that.
I use that, and usually when it picks up something, it's because I typed just a typo, and I
Hmm.
appreciate that because that helps. Well, yesterday Grammarly decided to lose its mind, and it started pointing out
Yeah.
errors that weren't errors. Like, you just used this line in the previous sentence, and I'd go, "What?" And I go look, like, "No, I didn't." So I would tell it, "No, I didn't," and it would do the computer equivalent of, "Oh, my bad." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you today? But that was all day, so I just shut it down and wrote without it. You know,
I usually use the spell check, the search bar, just to make sure I've got spelling right and whatnot.
for whatever reason, spell check just stopped working on my. I use Open Office software.
Hmm.
Same as Word. It just quit working. Just said nope, not going to do anything. That's what I mean. Technology hates me. That's why I
Yeah.
switched to Grammarly.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
now what I
It
do,
definitely.
Rex,
Well, I
I
could
just
have got,
I
the
just
thing of it
pay
is
more
I could have
attention.
got in on the ground floor of that, I remember basic, straight out of high school going to the university, and they showed us basic in the computer service center where when I went to college a few years later, that's where I actually got a job. And Here's the art student that had nothing, didn't know one language or how to help those students whatsoever. But I was there, and they did have me do some things up front, like payroll checks, which is mind blowing for the whole university because they'd print those out for everybody, including my own. I couldn't add a figure. I never did. That's embezzlement. But anyway, that's when they had the magnetic tapes on there and switch out the tapes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's wild when I look back on it.
It is crazy how fast technology has exploded. Uh,
Hmm.
and it's a blessing and a curse. Never have so many people had so much information available to them just to make them stupider.
Yeah.
Hello? That
Yeah.
was pretty profound.
It really is amazing what you can, you know, what you can, what you can do now, uh, and look up, and it's at your fingertips, and yet people really aren't utilizing it properly.
Well,
I
it's
don't
like
think.
if you're using AI for anything, Grok, Chat GPT,
Hmm.
and you ask it a question, it will not give you the most accurate answer. It will give you whatever the most accumulated answer is. So it's
Mm,
giving you consensus, not fact necessarily.
yeah.
And if you don't know something, like I asked it something and it gave me a wrong answer, and I didn't know the answer. That's why I asked it in the first place. But I knew that the answer it provided was wrong, and I kept calling it out on it. And finally, it got it right. And I said, I asked, it was Grok. I asked Grok, I said, you have the entire internet at your disposal. How can you possibly get shit like this wrong? And had I not known you were wrong, and I was maybe a student doing research for something, you'd have given me a bullshit answer and I would have believed it. And it said, and I'm quoting, sometimes AI hallucinates.
Huh.
And if you think I'm lying to you, go search. AI will hallucinate. Hey, Ginkgo, what's up? Ugh. But it's crazy. So, always double check your sources and your resources. And by the way, sometimes Grok and ChatGPT will show you what its sources are, and it'll source
Uh-huh.
Wikipedia. You have to tell it, don't use Wikipedia as a source. Use primary sources only, and you'll be
Yeah.
amazed at the difference in what you get. Out of focus.
Is it?
Okay, there it is. All right. All right, Rex.
Uh, yeah, I was watching something on YouTube and they had a scientific term for an old fossil. It was like a spiked worm and it was so trippy looking. And in fact, the guy that named the thing had it really flipped upside down. It was so weird looking. Um, uh, and it's called hallucinogenia. And I was like, ooh, what a great word. What a great name for a character. So I thought a
Oh,
female character that's opposite of um uh what's her name? Euphoria. Euphoria.
mhm, mhm.
The one I did the page for that was so colorful and everything. But I
Now,
thought, well, I'll go opposite with her and have her like hallucinogenic, but all in gray tone and gray and black and white.
mhm.
So
Now
when
I
she,
have a character that in concept is the polar opposite of euphoria. Euphoria being that elated sense of good. I have a character
hmm
called Panic, and
well,
Panic has the ability to control negative emotions in other people.
Starship Troopers voice, yeah, trippy. Yeah, Euphoria, I get it. It's more like, oh, I'm elated and stuff. But now this is like you've heard about of high and people ODing, right? This is kind
Sure.
of it because
Yeah.
she kills you with pleasure centers going off. She
Yeah. And see, Panic can kill you with anxiety or with panic
hmm
attacks. Drive you out of your
Boy, I
mind.
haven't had one of those in a long time, and I don't like them. Nobody does. Panic
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah, and it's amazing how many people actually have them, and they talk about it now. In the past, it was like people either didn't know that's what had happened to them or they wouldn't admit to it. Hell yeah,
Mhm.
I've had them too. I remember the first one I ever had, Rex. I didn't know what it was. And I
Mhm.
had been awake for a long time. I was on active duty and it was Christmas Eve and I had duty that night. So I had to get off duty at midnight and then I had to drive home, which was a 5 hour drive to be with my family for Christmas morning. And I
Mhm.
was in the middle of damn nowhere on this back road. And all of a sudden, the panic attack kicked in. And I thought, oh, well, hell, I'm having a heart attack. So I pulled over
Yeah.
and I couldn't think of anything else to do. So I just laid down in the front seat and I slept for, I guess, about an hour. And when I came to, I felt fine and I thought nothing else of it. It wasn't until years later I realized, oh, that was a panic attack.
Yeah. Yeah. It's uncomfortable feeling, I guess it's just anxiety comes upon you and
Well,
you can.
it's in the most technical terms, Rex, it's your fight or flight mechanism being triggered without a stimulus. In other words, there was nothing there to cause it. It just kicked on for some reason. So it's
Mhm.
not that, panic and anxiety, those are not good words for it because you're not really panicking. You're not in an anxious state. It just,
Right.
that mechanism just flips on for some reason. And everything you're experiencing would feel normal if a T-Rex busted across the road in front of you. Ah,
Right. Yeah, you might get a little adrenaline rush at that point.
yeah, yeah,
Don't go to the bathroom. That's
yeah.
of course, a movie
That
reference. But
scene, that scene traumatized so many kids.
the one that got me was the spitter. You
Oh,
know,
not me. That one they didn't sell it well. It looked fake.
eh, okay, but to be blinded, paralyzed, and eaten alive, yeah, I don't like that. No.
Yeah, but compared to how real that damn T Rex looked,
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
when he was trying to come through the plexiglass on the top of that Jeep, chomping at them youngins, I was
Hmm.
at the theater watching. I was going, "Oh God, dang, he's gonna eat them youngins."
What about the raptor? And then I don't know if it was in the first one, but tapping that
Yeah,
claw.
so the first one.
That's
There's a
creepy.
there's a video short on YouTube and on Facebook. These people have a dog that watches TV and he'll react to it.
Mm.
The dog did not like those damn raptors, and when it went and tapped that claw, that dog said, "Arr, arr, arr." "Oh, it's good stuff, Rex. Good stuff."
Yeah.
When you
I've
fool
never
even
been
a
a big
dog,
Spielberg, movie. He's the director that's like, I enjoyed
what?
Schindler's List. Uh, what he did there, I
Saving
thought was
Private Ryan, Jurassic Park,
that's one
Indiana
that I
Jones,
like, huh?
Indiana Jones trilogy.
Okay, that one's okay, but and Jaws, I get it, but I didn't watch Jaws when it came out. It's like, um, the dinosaur thing, the technology was there to do it, and he did it. I was like, okay. I, um, I mean, I'm not saying it's hit or miss. Like I say, it's hit or miss with me. On some. There's other better directors out there. I think E.T. Of course. You got to leave. I mean, ET like that. When it came
Name
out.
any other director that has that many great hits.
John Carpenter. I don't know. Francis Ford Coppola. I don't know. There's a bunch of good.
You could
Yeah, I
say
mean, he's the pop culture guy.
you
So
you could say that oh, this particular director I feel is more talented or visionary or whatever, but for
mhm,
consistently producing great movies,
yeah.
Spielberg's your boy.
That or the only one that I could think is his contemporary is Lucas,
Yeah, listen, here's the thing about George
which is
Lucas.
Star Wars. That
Not
yeah.
really a good director. Not really a good director. He was a visionary.
Eh,
He was a good
yeah, well,
creator.
yeah. I mean, I liked his student movie, the TH whatever it was.
Yeah, Empire of the
THX
Sun was good.
whatever.
Dinko says Empire of the Sun. He snuck in to watch Schindler's List, The Last Emperor. Yeah. Um, Yeah, Schindler's List is one of those movies that if you can watch that and not be moved, there's something wrong with you. That movie,
Yeah, Schindler's
gut
List.
wrenching,
Yeah,
gut
yeah.
wrenching movie.
And I have it. I probably need to rewatch it.
The theme in that, the violin theme that John Williams wrote,
Mhm.
is one of the most beautiful themes ever. I mean, it is incredibly good. I collect soundtracks and make playlists, right? So I have like Sayuri's theme from Memoirs of a Geisha is beautiful. The
Mhm.
Red Violin, fucking great movie, by the way. Watch Red Violin. It's a brain buster. Hey, great
Pretty
cloudy
great.
day.
Um, yeah,
It's
one of
gonna
the
be a
actresses that
great,
portrayed in that, she
great,
passed away.
great cloudy day. Who? What now, Rex?
One of the actresses that played in Schindler's List passed away
Oh,
not too
yeah.
long ago. I think. Uh,
They get old too fast.
remember that much about it. Of course, everybody
Kim
remembers it being in
Basinger
black and white with the red shoes.
is 71 years old now. Did you know that?
Who?
Kim Basinger,
Oh, yeah.
Vicky
Yeah.
Vale from
Yeah.
Batman,
Yeah.
71 years. Are you shitting me right now? You didn't distract. You didn't distract Ray Cloudy. I look, unlike Rex, I'm here for the chat. I'm just kidding. Rex, you have got to get a better camera though, man.
Yeah, it's pixelated. Look, you did system diagnostic with me, and at that time, it was kind of like you hacking after smoking all day. It's like, "Ah, I'm on my last leg. I can't make
Hey,
it
listen,
anymore. I'm running
that the hacking is in the
slow."
morning, Rex, not after a day's worth of
I
smoking.
know
It's in the
that's
morning when you wake up and you
morning
have that
hack, and
first
everything's settled. And yeah, I
you
get
light
it.
that first cigarette and you cough up a tennis ball and then you feel better.
And and to be fair, okay, there was this little thing that affected your lungs called COVID. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah. So
yes.
yeah,
Well, kinda. COVID was the virus, but what happened was I got pneumonia with it.
yeah, okay. And the pneumonia scarred your lungs. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
And it's weird because that was the third time I'd had pneumonia in my life. First time was in the Navy and clear chest.
yeah,
Second time I was working in the ER, clear chest. Third time, no, no, extensive scar tissue. Ugh.
yeah, yeah. It's not a fun. It's life threatening every time you have it. I mean, not a
Yeah,
good thing to have. It's bad to get over.
it's frustrating now that I can get winded from doing simple things because I don't have lung capacity anymore. If I walk to the mailbox, I got to take a break.
You gotta take a break going to the mailbox. So you got neighbors behind you, huh?
Yep,
But now
nobody.
you got a big backyard, don't you?
No, not really. My house is an acre and a half, but my lot is sideways, so it's long and wide, but not deep.
Okay. Because I'd seen pictures, where you were saying the water came up on this, and
Mhm,
all the
mhm.
way up to, and I was like, yeah, you got a pretty big yard, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's the drawback of living in the valley. Now I've got French drains on the back northeast side of the property. Sorry, southeast side of the property, and on the northeast side. But there's nothing in the back and on the west side for when it floods. So I have to use a lot
Hmm.
of. I've got a little built up. You can't hardly see it when it's not raining, but when it's raining, you can tell I've built up the area so the water will go around the house instead of under it.
I can tell you from experience that living on the highest point, and that was another plus when I bought the house. It's on the highest point, so everybody gets my runoff. Uh, there's still standing water when it rains hard, even being on the highest point.
Well, the good point about being the low point was when we got hit by the tornado, it didn't hit us directly. It went over the top of us.
Yeah, it usually
The
hits
house
high
is up
points
on the
like my
hill.
place.
Yeah. Yeah, the house up on the top of the hill, they got hit.
I where I go spray downwind, there's one house out of this very posh community, and it's on the a high point, wiped out. The rest of them didn't even touch. You know,
It's weird, isn't it,
now
how that works?
there was over 200 and there was how many houses was it? Over 200, I know, that were wiped out. There was a whole trailer park that I used to spray. It's no longer there, and
Yeah.
they put new trailers in there even more, and then they disappeared again. I don't know why, but
Tornadoes don't like trailers. Tornadoes don't like mobile homes, boys and girls. In case you
well,
didn't know
they're on
that.
the west side of town. It seemed
Yeah.
to follow the railroad track
If
all
you
the
if
way
you
down
live,
the
it's
street.
weird how they'll do that. They'll follow
Mm-hmm.
tracks or roads or whatever. But look,
Mm-hmm.
if you live in a mobile home, God love you. There's nothing wrong with it. But have a storm cellar. Dig yourself a place to go, even if it's just a little foxhole
Yeah.
trench. Get below
You're going to
ground.
be like Dorothy's house in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
There was one come through here, and it picked up a trailer and laid it down about 100 feet away,
Rex, how
which
many
was
boxes of moon pies do you have behind you?
well, they're empty, but I've got blueberry, chocolate, caramel, salted caramel, banana, and vanilla, and pumpkin spice.
Why do you have the empty boxes, Rex?
It's just
Because
cool,
you
the
ate
different
all of them?
varieties, especially blueberry and pumpkin spice. I've just got the pumpkin spice this year. That's very rare. Who knows how long they're gonna, and they're a company that goes back all the way to 1907, I believe. So,
All right.
one of
So
your
what you need to do is preserve those. Don't leave them sitting out like that.
yeah, I get it. It's only temporary here, but yeah,
Yeah, I would.
for
All kidding aside, I would measure the dimensions exactly and cut some styrofoam blanks to put inside of them to give them a little substance,
oh,
and then store them,
so that the humidity doesn't yeah.
or they don't get crushed. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually bought a couple plastic totes, uh, for some of the boxes I'm collecting. I don't know. It's just
Great
different
Cloudy Day
projects.
says, I live in a trailer and I don't worry. I've lived all my life in Tornado Alley. I've lived in a tent plenty of times when tornadoes came through. But then again, I'm Gray Cloud. Hey, there you go.
Well,
Tornadoes go,
where I live,
hey,
Doc,
don't hit him. He's one of us.
I think the original house, like you come in and you go straight, there's a formal dining room. This is actually a living room, supposed to be, which is not that big. I guess, you know, the reason the shower's there is uh, one of the
Because
occupants' mother couldn't get upstairs to the bathroom or,
that's where
to the
you,
full
we
bathrooms.
all know because that's where you hide the bodies, Rex.
That too, yeah. And
So that's a working shower.
it is a working shower. Yeah, I don't use it because I've got books and other stuff in here, of course, but don't need to. But it is a working shower.
That's
Absolutely. Yeah.
hysterical to me. That's
And
hysterical.
right behind it is a bathroom.
Okay.
Half I mean it's got a sink and a commode, but it doesn't have a shower. And this
Okay.
is the only
So
working thing
do you
downstairs.
use the toilet in there? Like
Yes.
if you got to go, you got to go, right?
Not in the shower, you
No,
animal.
Rex, in the toilet, Rex.
Yes, in the toilet. Yes. Pete's going outside in front of everybody and getting arrested. But anyway, because I am in town. But
No, I mean as opposed to going to whatever other bathroom is in the house.
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, that's the only one that's really working. The other needs the guts and the tanks.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have to want to flush, but I have to like get the bobber up to where it'll shut off once it fills up. And the other one, I
Well,
have
that's
to
an
like,
easy fix, Rex.
huh? I
That's an
know, I
easy
know. Yeah.
fix.
I get them
Easy.
fixed all at the same time. Um,
No, I mean like you can fix it in a couple of seconds. Do you have a float, a ball float, or do you have the tube float?
I have a ball float.
Bend the shaft so the ball goes down further. When it lifts, it'll shut off the thing quicker. They're bendable. Just bend it an inch. Done. You're good.
All right. Well, I might try it. I'll probably snap it off, and then I'll be in a real fix.
No, you
Thanks.
won't snap it off, Rex. It's flexible. You bend it
Okay. All
just a
right.
little.
You get those little things that, and I submerged it totally. Maybe maybe I was supposed to hook it. It's the cakes, the hard cakes that you put in there in the
Uh
tank to keep it
huh.
clean.
Uh huh.
You dump. I don't know if I was supposed to put it on the side or if you put it all the way in, but they're
In the
so
back,
hard, huh?
in the back, or in the front,
I mean, in the tank.
in the tank. Yeah, you could drop one in the tank. It won't hurt nothing.
But what I'm saying is, the metal,
Hmm.
it rust.
Well, then don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not buying those anymore. I mean, they've been in there well over a year, and I can't see that they're even dissolving. But the metal has bloomed up with rust all over it
Yeah,
and corroded, and it's what a mess in the
yeah.
tank.
That's what we call ungood.
Yeah,
Ungood.
not good. Yes, ungood. You heathen. I tell you what, call me uneducated. You Georgians. I may get to see you in April again, Doc. Who
Yeah, come on
knows?
down. Come on down. We'll have coffee. If you get here before they close, we'll go to Safe House, get a real good cup.
Yeah,
But
I lingered. They wanted, I
but
couldn't pass up a free meal
you,
last
you
time.
got you got to drop one of your mosquito pellets in my little the
I can
stream
do that.
the stream that runs through the valley runs through my yard.
Yeah,
Put one in there for me.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Georgia
They'll
Georgia
probably ask.
EPA Georgia
They
EPA
liked
might.
my work really good. I mean, I was top of the line for them. They were like, ooh. Um, I did tell that one guy, hey, if my next book, the Buscema book, does well, I won't be back. This was hard work. But I'm not opposed to hard work. But man, I could barely walk after that week. I was like, phew.
All right, I gotta go make some cigarettes and get a fresh cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
All
Tell
right.
everybody that one joke you know, Rex.
Well, it's an old joke, but that's all I know. That's all I got. No, there's no tell a joke with me. It's all improv and on the spur of the moment for the most part. It's like knock knock, who's there? No, I don't do that type of joke. And I don't want to retain all that garbage either for years and years and years. It's usually snappy repartee, with me. Sorry. So while he's there, I'll get to drawing. I'm drawing this character here, which I'm thinking might be one of the 43. I didn't put 43 on here. He goes back all the way bug like. I don't know exactly what's going on. One of my weirder characters that I came up with back in 2008. Um, but he's a neat character. I thought I might make him one of the 43. Uh, but I don't know yet. I need to look and see how many characters I need to actually come up with the number 43 because I may be running out of spots, and have 44 or 45. And that's not good because there's a specific number, the 43. 43 out of 200 Nazi experiment. Hmm. Yeah. Development, though, is coming along good. I mean, with uh, what is entropy there? Oh, entropy. Yeah. Entropy would be a good one. And actually, um, I already have a story with entropy will be, I had this concept of this character that disintegrates, you know, kind of like the gray gargoyle from Marvel. He had one hand and it had like a repulsor ray looking, disc in one hand. And he could turn you to stone for an hour. And make you into kind of like a living stone or living gargoyle. And I always liked that concept. Well, um, I have a short story in mind for Shadow's Kiss, sort of my ninja whisper type character, right? And that who's drawing was Ryland T was drawing. Let me see if I can find that. Uh, he drew Shadow's Kiss recently. Let me pull it up here. It's still on my X notifications. I've noticed the last few days, though, my computer is more sluggish than others. So, yeah, today would probably be a good day to get with Omer and go, hey, you need to get some updates or something. We need to do something here. Something's going on. Uh, but more than that, there's some other stuff I need to do for the campaign. Yeah, here we go. Just let me. Here we go. So here's Roland T's Shadow's Kiss right there that he did on one of the night draws. Um, and I've got a story that's will be told in Momentum Unleashed Future Visions, where all the stories are in the future, not necessarily our future, but it could be the character's future. In this case, it's slightly in the future, the story with her. He gave him, I just noticed he gave her two braids, and actually she's only got one braid, one blonde braid. Very Spider-Man like mask, a black, mask. Um, but yeah, she's only got one, and I made her a blonde to distinguish her more apart from Spider-Man. But I always like the eyes on Spider-Man and stuff, and thought, create a female mass figure like Whisper. Uh, but yeah, he drew her, and I'll stop back after I make this video. Okay, accidentally post something in the chat. Ignore that, Rex. Okay, it's fine. Um, uh, yeah, and I needed a character maybe in that story that disintegrates things with his touch. And Entropy would be a good character, which I created today after midnight, early this morning, where he's almost like a Sandman, like falling apart, in certain ways, just how do you uh, depict decay, basically, entropy. The whole universe is experiencing entropy. We go through seasons where you have like dead leaves everywhere around, you know. So this character going to work good for that story. So I've created some characters that have given me some stories, like future stories that I needed
Rex,
the right
write
people
the
for.
stories, write them.
Um, Yeah, if you don't have the right character for it, how can you write it? That's what I'm saying. Now that I've created the character, I'm like, ooh, yeah, this character needs to be in this story that I was thinking about. So
Rex, I want to
that's what
recommend.
I was saying when you were rolling your cigarettes, which was I needed a character, but didn't have him created yet that disintegrated things with his touch. Now I do. So now
Okay,
I have the villain that will be
that's not what I was saying though, Rex.
yeah. Okay.
You have great stories. You
Yeah.
actually have to write them. So
Mhm.
I'm just saying, write, not go write the script for this, that, or the other. Just write. Write a
Yeah.
short story. And I'm going to give you and anyone watching right now on a replay or live a good. There's a lot of how to write shit on YouTube, and most of it sucks. A great channel that gives great writing advice is The Second Story. Her name is Hillary Lane. She's super smart, super based, uh, and she can write. I've read her writing. She's good. The Second Story, Rex.
You heard the music?
I did,
Just 'cause I had that tab
but
open. Um, I think it was 4 o'clock Shadow episode 1295. I and Doc talk about. Yep, there you are. I think that was the one where the title, it's episode 1295. We talk about writing in that episode, and it was a very good show. I thought us talking about strengths and different things in writing.
there's a good challenge out there that makes creative writing uh, begin to flow for you, and that is just grab a name, pull a name out of your ass, and
Hmm.
pick a location out of your ass, and then something that person is doing. Okay, doesn't matter if it's cooking eggs or
Yeah.
mowing the grass. And then the next thing you do is you start asking questions. Whose grass is this person cutting? Or who are they cooking for, themselves or somebody else? Who else is in the house? What does the house look like? And you begin doing that, but you keep in mind to do a story arc. It has a beginning, middle, and end. No matter how short or long it is, make sure it has that story arc. Write a 1 page short
Well,
story.
I have been writing, Doc, and then often, running dialogue too,
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying this is just a good
between a couple
exercise for
characters.
people that want to learn to write. This
Mm-hmm.
is a good way to do it. Like I said, just grab a name, any name. Bob Smith was cooking eggs, and then
Yeah.
start asking yourselves those questions. Who is he cooking for? How many eggs is he cooking? Where is he? Is he a lonely old man cooking for himself? Is he a father of a big family and he's cooking for 12 kids? You just do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Ask
Yeah.
questions.
I was actually reading something I'd written here, and the word entropy was there, and I was like, "Ooh, why don't I create a character just called Entropy?" And so I got the character now, and now I can put that character in my story, and now I have the villain in the story, or is he a villain? You know, uh, I've got you know little time to write that story, but I was like, okay, I need a character for that. I've got the concept of he disintegrates
Mm-hmm.
with his touch. Much I was saying when you were gone, like Marvel's Gray Gargoyle. Are you familiar with him? He could turn you to stone for an
Yep.
hour. Yeah, because probably saw him in the Avengers. That's probably the first time I saw him, but he goes way back in
Seems
Thor
like,
and
yeah.
other books. Yeah, back in the '60s, I guess, was created by Jack Kirby. Uh, I got a lot of characters to create to actually um, challenge Jack Kirby on the most characters ever created in comics. Good characters, because he's my God for decades. Just he's a creating powerhouse. Even I don't even think he gets credit for most of the characters, like Gray Gargoyle. You wouldn't think, okay, Gray Gargoyle, or him. He did a lot of that in like different things he was on, like Thor, different titles. He was just like character of the month club. You know, amazing.
So so let me share a little bit here with you. I'm gonna read you a
Okay,
section of prose that I just wrote
all right.
and see how it paints characters with very few words. So the scene setting is in Bishop's office. There's the young nun initiate in his office.
Mhm.
And he says, I can't help but wonder how long it's been for her, how long since she's actually had a real conversation. The clergy preaches at her, the nuns give her orders. Only the winos and addicts actually talk to her. Her gaze is far away as she recounts her life, and I'm struck. I've seen that look before from cops, combat veterans, and victims of violent crime. How bad must her life be? Jesus. When's the last time you had something to eat other than institutional food? I asked, rising and grabbing my hat and coat. Are you serious? She asked, standing and blinking. Sure, I'm hungry. Let's grab a bite, my treat. Now, I'm no knight in shining armor or some kind of saint, but this kid's had a hard life. If I can give her a real meal and a little conversation, so be it. It's not a very high price to pay for a little rented grace.
You gotta love adjectives, descriptive words.
But that tells you two things. One, that Bishop has a heart, but when he
Hmm.
says buy a little rented grace, he sees himself as kind of outside of God's grace. He's not a good person,
Hmm.
and yet he's doing a good thing.
Good stuff. I'm glad you've been writing. You've been pretty much on it every day, every day, every day.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
day, thousand words a day.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
that
knew once you
oh,
would get going, you would be like, "Whoa, I've written a novel." I mean, once you get going, yeah, it gets easier over time the more you do it. Not just through practice, 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 but
yeah. I
you
used to say
establish certain foundational things, right?
I have videos about that on my fine art YouTube channel. The more you
Good.
do, the more you can do. Whether it's
Yeah.
painting, drawing, writing, whatever you do, you can do more of it the more you do it.
Hmm.
And I mean both in proficiency and proliferation. So more
And
of it,
and I
and you'll
think
get better.
I think you get some of the fundamental stuff out of the way and you get a clear cut direction. I know that's the way it's been putting together my comic universe. Over time, it's gotten easier to map out everything I want to do, the stories and write them and whatnot and the character situations.
Hmm.
Um, it builds on itself. And I think it's also getting more aligned and organized in your head over time.
Hmm.
And that's one reason it becomes easier, you know.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do a series of the girl I recommended, Hillary Lane. She does, her videos are usually half hour to an hour, and she is extremely articulate and intelligent and based. But I think I'm going to do a series of very short videos, no more than 5 minutes, on just writing tips for those that are starting out writing and you don't know how to start.
Mhm.
Because, there the advice there is no different than what I teach at the art school with visual art. It's almost exactly the same thing. Just the tools are different.
Well, studying languages, I know the importance of language, because I studied Hebrew especially, but the origin and root of words and where the origin and really kind of like languages and would like to learn
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
multitude of languages, because it is interesting to me, but
Yes,
it is
language,
more of a left
philology,
hemisphere type thing than
yeah,
right.
all of that stuff is important, but so is, and just as important, is your ears. Learn to
Mhm.
listen to the people around you. How do they talk? Because everybody talks different. And we talked about this on that show you just mentioned. You got to
Mhm.
get out of same voice. Every character cannot talk the same way.
Right.
Otherwise, there's nothing there to distinguish them other than the fact you said, "This is Bob. This is Joe. This guy's fat. This guy's skinny," but they sound exactly the same. So you go out and you
Yeah.
listen to conversations between real people, not movies and TV. That's bullshit. That's scripted. Go
Yeah.
listen to people talk.
Yeah, and also kind of cosplay your characters too, right?
Read out loud. Read out loud what you wrote. See how it sounds. Does this
Yeah.
sound like how people talk?
Mhm.
There's that great scene from the David Letterman show or Johnny Carson. I don't remember which one, but it was Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill talking about a line that George Lucas has written that's just ridiculous for them to say. And they were hammering George Lucas on set. Nobody talks this way, George. That's impossible to blurt out and make it sound like it's real conversation. And
Mhm.
George Lucas finally acquiesced and re, retweaked the line so they could actually read it. But they were talking about that, how people actually talk versus what a
Yeah.
writer might hear in his own head.
Well,
So
there's a lot of people nowadays, they don't know proper English and they start a sentence with but, a conjunction, and it drives me nuts. I've seen that in 3 comic books that I own, and I'm like, they've been in business for as a publisher over 20 years, and they're doing that basic mistake in
and there's
multiple
there's
books.
two other ones that just absolutely fly all over me from even intelligent people. They will say these ones. There's no such thing as
Yeah,
these ones. It's
these
these.
ones. Yeah.
It's just these. And then the
Mhm.
other one is this one is different to that one. No, it's different from that one, not to that one. Similar to, differ from. But I will
Yeah.
hear There is a PhD, Dr. Mark Feltman, who does history videos on YouTube, and he will use those. Drakenfeld will use those, the naval historian. You guys are scholars. Talk better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, just because you're highbrow, I got a degree, whatever, and yes, that says that you can accomplish something, but if you didn't get just a pass through everything. But yeah, I want to see. I want to see when you write a book. I want to see the footnotes. I want to see who you're citing. Do you cite original sources, or are you
primary
just like,
sources. Yeah.
yeah, they're saying like if you in the back it says we are not going to cite. We're going to do something a little different. Not. It's like, yeah, you're
Or they
talking
use
out
the passive
your
voice and they say, experts agree that blah, 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 blah. Now,
right.
what experts? That's the
Right. Like
passive
global
voice.
warming. Experts say,
You
yeah.
can't
What are they?
use the passive voice in writing. That's a
Uh-huh.
no-no.
Mm-hmm.
People always say, now, if you're writing colloquial conversation, someone can say that. But if you're writing a scholarly paper, you can never, ever use the passive voice. No.
But I'm a beta male. I got
If
low
I read
T.
that, the second I hear that come out of somebody's mouth or read it when they're right, I just shut down whatever it is. Nothing you say from this point forward carries any weight with me whatsoever. None. Zero. You appeal to an authority that you do not cite. Get out of here with that. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Oh, I'm
is.
sorry. You got me fired up now.
Well, I've been listening from I went through nearly the whole series of out of David Barton. You probably know who he is, the historian, uh, American history, and um, from the founding fathers and all like that. He's got wall builders, David Barton. You can find his stuff on YouTube. Very informative, especially if you want to know the original sources and intent of how we came across our founding of our country and the founding of our whole education system and
Oh,
everything.
yeah. I listen to,
And
I have a playlist of lectures from Victor Davis Hanson, Alan Goyes. I can't even pronounce his last name. He's not even Mexican, but he's got a Mexican sounding last name. He's the Civil War historian. When they lecture, I don't care if that lecture is 15 years old. Click on it, sit and listen to it, and you will learn something every single time. Like American Ajax lecture by Victor Davis Hanson is talking about Patton being the American Ajax. Fucking listen to it when he talks. The dude is smarter than everybody put together.
I've listened to some Victor David Hanson. Yeah, I recently, as a matter of fact, I watched some of his videos. Yeah, I
His
think he's.
podcast, his daily show is okay, but his lectures, oh man,
Yeah,
he is
I kind
next
of been
level.
doing it for keep up with topical things of what's because kind of got on the pulse of what's going on. I
Yeah,
thought he gave in
he's
one
good.
of the last ones I watched, he gave George Bush a little bit more credit than what he deserves, but that's fine. I mean, we differ on some things.
You don't have to agree with everything, but when he does history lectures, it's not topical. It's just history. Here's what happened. But I was just going to say that very thing. His podcasts are okay, but that's just him giving his opinion of whatever's happening in the news. Not as good as his lectures or even his podcasts where he gets interviewed in depth. Those are really good. Yeah, audiobooks are good. Read,
Yeah, I
Chiller.
mean,
Read.
yeah, I would not read as much if I didn't have as many audio books as what
I don't know.
but
I
physically
listen
get
to
a book,
audio.
yes.
I had never, Rex. Everyone kept saying I write like Chandler, Raymond Chandler, and his Philip Marlowe character. And honestly, I had never seen a Philip Marlowe movie. I had never read a single book of his until I was already about where I am now, around 100,000 words of writing noir, right? I just could hear the noir voice in my head, and that's what I was writing. So I took the time finally, and I listened to several audiobooks of Chandler's Philip Marlowe character. and they're really, really good. Uh, but there's like in The Long Goodbye, which is his most famous novel,
Hmm.
Marlowe doesn't solve the case. He never figures out who the killer was. It's just him reacting to the shit going around. And I thought, this guy is supposed to be the king of noir, and his king character doesn't even solve a case in his most famous
Yeah.
case. That's like Jack climbing the beanstalk, walking around and saying, "Yeah, it's kind of big up here," and then he just leaves.
I mean, I get it. One thing I've been looking in and I love is the old 50s Sherlock Holmes series that ran from like 55, 56, something like that. Ron
Read them,
Howard, I think.
read those, read Sherlock Holmes.
I've got the complete works of Sherlock Holmes in there, as a matter of
Right
fact.
there within arm's
Hmm.
reach. I have all of them,
Hmm.
and I read through all of them once a year, not because of the story content, but because of the way it's written. That beautiful
Hmm.
language. Conan Doyle had a beautiful use of the English language and the way they talked in the Victorian era.
Hmm.
And as you're writing modern fiction, you're not going to write like a Victorian, but you might hear a turn of phrase in Victorian English that you could pull and use in modern English that really hammers home something that modern English won't.
Yeah.
There's the great line from Silver Blaze. The investigator asks him, "Is there any other matter to which you would like to draw my attention?" And he goes, "Yes, pay attention to what the dog did in the night." And the guy says, "But the dog did nothing in the night." And Sherlock Holmes replies, "That's the curious incident," and walks away.
Well, I mean, you said he didn't solve it, and yes, and the reason I brought up Sherlock Holmes is he's a great detective, right?
Yeah,
Batman's supposed to be a great detective. Of course, he was in Detective Comics, but and they kind of got away from that after the years. But when they returned him to that, he became more popular, and that happened in the '60s. And they even gotten away from that time and time again, but they keep kind of going back to that too. And that's when he generally gets popular, is when he's the
didn't the
great.
Neil Adams run? Didn't they have him being more of a detective during Neil Adams?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much. And
that's what I remember. And I like
this
those
new
better.
movie,
I don't want Batman to be Captain America. I want him to be Sherlock Holmes in a cape.
but there is something to say. One show that you don't see on TV because the mystery was solved. So people are like, why should I watch this? I know what's going to happen. The Fugitive.
Hmm.
They solved it at the end, and they probably would have been better off still having it open ended and him on the run, kind of like Bruce Banner walking down the road with the music, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's not solving a mystery. That's resolving a plot. That's entirely different.
yeah,
Leaving a
well,
plot
yeah,
open is
yeah,
fine, but
yeah.
you don't have someone whose job is to solve crimes, not solve the crime. Ginkgo says, "I wake up hearing the last of something and then listen again. I sleep to audiobooks." Yeah, I've done that too.
I fall
Um,
asleep on
think
audio books. Yeah.
think about Columbo. They show you the criminal committing the crime at the beginning, so there's no mystery. The
Hmm.
show's appeal was watching Columbo figure it out and
Yeah,
watching the criminal trying to
yeah.
stop Columbo from figuring it out.
And that's a great device,
What a
especially in.
fucking genius way to approach it.
Oh yeah, it's
Genius.
different, and it's it's always good to in a figuratively speaking, break that fourth wall and give the audience something that the character doesn't know. You know it ahead of time. You've seen the crime, or and he's trying to work through it. Yeah, and you're like, yeah, yeah. You can add tension and suspense that way too.
Now,
Yeah.
in my book Blood on the Bricks, the clue that Bishop picks up on to resolve the whole case happens, but you have to be paying attention or it will blow right by you until he reveals it at the very end. No, where
Mhm.
you tripped yourself up was when you did thus. And then the reader will go, "Oh shit, that's right."
Well, I'm writing a book called Thick as a Brick because I don't pick up those little subtle things unless I'm laying them down myself. You know, I like seeding little Easter eggs and little, blah blah in there, but And I
Yeah, one
think
of the
most writers do.
yeah, one of the
Little
keys
references.
to being a good writer is to trust your audience. Trust the reader that they're going to pick up what you put down
Oh,
as you put it
absolutely.
down.
Never speak down to your readership. Like,
Well,
I know
trust them.
more than you.
Trust them.
You
Trust them.
know?
Give them a little bit, just enough to figure out what's going on, but trust them to
Hmm.
fill in the blanks.
Do you write for yourself? I mean, your own enjoyment. If you enjoy it, you figure that somebody else will enjoy it too when they read it.
I mean, I write what I like. Um,
Yeah.
I right now, as I sit here today, I don't want to write anything other than the Jake Bishop noir,
Hmm.
because there's the stories just keep coming and coming and coming. I easily have 6 books worth of material already outlined, and I'm not talking about 6 comic book scripts. I'm about 6 novels,
Yeah.
um, and I will just keep writing them until I fall over dead.
Well, you still got to wrap up the Pariah Blood and Mud
Yeah,
3 issue arc, and then you said also that you were going to do Jake. What two? What's the
two
Peace
issue.
Brother? What?
Pariah resolves in 2 books. It was going to be 3, but I decided I'll resolve it all in one big second edition.
Okay,
Second
which is
issue.
already out, so you've already done it.
No, no, no.
No.
Pariah Sanctum of Hate is in the works. I'm drawing as well as writing. So.
Well, you had. I'm losing track now. You had Pariah Blood and Mud,
Mhm.
and your last book was.
The Jake Bishop book is standalone.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, was that your last book? I'm forgetting. I play your trailer every day.
Yes, A Damn Dirty Thing is my
A damn
most.
dirty thing. It's just Jake Bishop.
Yeah, it's my most recent. Part 2
But
of
it
Pariah is Pariah Sanctum of Hate, and I'm
right.
currently working on that. And Jake Bishop does feature in that book. All right, Geeko, go make your appointment, brother. We'll be here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um,
So yeah, the comic book order is uh, Pariah Blood and Mud, and then I do the comic for A Damn Dirty Thing to introduce Jake Bishop, and then he appears in the next Pariah comic book, Sanctum of Hate. When
mhm.
Sanctum of Hate is over, that's the end of Elizabeth Payne's arc. She's done.
Right.
I
Right.
will retire that character. She's never coming
And
back.
you were talking about doing a single Jake Bishop thing at that time, but your contract is, can you still do that with
Yeah,
in the
uh,
comics?
yeah. The comic books are excluded from the copyright that I signed to Edgeweaver Books, so that Anthony and I could continue to crowdfund those.
Yeah.
So they were
If you
very
want to do
generous.
Jake Bishop in the comics.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
You
they
didn't
don't have they don't have the copyright contract with me for the IP, just for the book, A Damn Dirty Thing. You with me?
and then it's on from book to book basis, right? Pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah.
But they have an open door where they're like, I want more, more, more. Yeah. With with
Yeah.
this character. Yeah.
Yeah. I've shared I shared the synopsis and the opening to the next 2 books, and the publisher was like, "Fucking yeah,
So
send them."
are you doing it on a book to book basis with them? Because look, you just said it's no longer a novella, it's a novel. So you're doing more work. Are you like on salary with them where you're
No,
going to get
no,
no?
no. There's no salary as a writer. Once you're like, if you become a bestseller, what they'll do is they'll give you an advance on your next book. So you might
You're
get
right.
like $10,000 up front, but that comes out of your royalties that you get later. So it's called an advance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that. Uh, I just get a profit share, but I'll point out, my contract is very generous. Normal royalties are between 5 and 12% to the author.
Uh-huh.
Mine are much higher, much higher.
Uh,
So I'm good. I'm good with
well,
that.
now what else do they? I mean, is it a new firm? Have they been doing other books with other authors for a while?
Yeah, if you go to edgeweaverbooks.com, they have tons of books, but they also have reprints of public domain stuff like Sherlock Holmes, Conan, all that stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
publish those as well. But yeah, they have a whole stable of writers. I think there's 12, maybe 15 authors that they publish themselves. I don't know how long they've been around. I just know they're
Yeah.
very professional and that I've had a great working relationship with them and have really enjoyed it. Other than they sent my work to their editors pool, and they were horrible. And I raised hell about it with the publisher. And he looked me in the eye on a call like we are right now, and he said, "I'll never do that to you again, Doc. Ignore everything they said. You just write you. You don't need their help." So I do have an editor, but it's the editor in chief. She gives an editorial pass, and she only made 2 suggestions, and she was right on both of them. The other ones,
Mm-hmm.
they went through there and they were trying to change the wording and change the voice of the character. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I think I shared this one. If you're listening out there, there's a line in my book where Bishop gets sapped, knocked out, and put in a car and kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, you know, something hard happens to the back of my head and everything goes black. Okay, that's a very noir way to say it. They
Yeah.
changed it to
Yeah.
say something hard hits me on the back of the head and I lose consciousness. What? What the fuck are you doing?
No. No.
I lost my mind over those, and that was just one of about 100 they did. And I
Yeah.
went into the publisher just raising hell, and he was like, "Ignore them, ignore them. I'm never doing that to you again. You will not. I will not send your work to those guys." Ugh.
Yeah. Anxiety, panic attack, like we were talking earlier.
It was it was deal breaker. If
Yeah.
he had
Oh
said
yeah.
no, we're sticking with those edits, I'd be like,
I
then
don't blame you.
I want out of the contract. I'm not doing this. But he
Yeah.
was very good. He read the book himself and went, your writing is at a level where these low tier editors shouldn't be touching your stuff. Only Maria is my editor in chief or the
Mm-hmm.
managing editor. I'll allow, because we work well together, I'll allow her to do editorial passes and make suggestions. I'm
And
fine
you
with that.
need that. And she's probably done hundreds and hundreds, thousands
Yeah.
of books. You
Yeah.
need somebody like that.
And she
And
offered
and
really,
often I find this not to be gender whatever, but I mean, women editors and they've got a different look of worldview because they are a woman, and they've got a different sensibility, and that's not necessarily a bad thing to have a woman editor, look over your stuff. I don't think.
hey, Great Cloudy, normally it's today, but it looks like we're not going to do the show today. My whole crew is out sick. And Christian and I didn't get to do show prep yesterday for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take today off and then be back next week. But thank you for asking, Gray Cloudy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I guess he comes in your chat over there.
I think so. We share a lot of the same audience. I have a few that don't come in here that do come over there. Oh, got to bounce. That's my son calling.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here anyway. Yeah, starting on this character, and I think I'm gonna go in a different direction with him, because he's always sort of suggested insect to me. So I think I might even give him wings, from my original. He's such a weird character. I didn't know exactly where I was going with, him, and his powers. I know he's got, but I'm at the stage where it's like he's got a good visual look. Uh, I think I would like to go the insect way with him, you know, uh, and actually give him wings, that he can grow or whatever. Yeah, I will have a great day. Absolutely. Do some things around here. There's a lot I need to do. Um, but yeah, I wanted to do an early morning stream and uh, touch base and say hello and good morning. And hopefully everybody will have a wonderful, what is today? Hump day, Wednesday. And I'll see you again on the 4 o'clock shadow. Keep collecting. And thanks for watching. Bow for now.